Good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 1st, and this is Before the First Cup with Zori and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady.
Hi, how are you?
Hot, and I hear you're storming.
Yeah, we had some nice ones roll through here last night. It was kind of weird, though. It was like all kinds of lightning and heavy rain. I think we at least got like an inch last night in like an hour time span, maybe more than that. And but it was like lots of lightning, no thunder, barely any thunder at all. It was really strange.
Like an electrical storm almost.
Kind of, yeah. It was just flashing everywhere, and I was thinking, well, where's the noise, So...
Yeah, you expect that thunder. I mean, that's when you count 1, 2, 3, 4,
right?
5, yeah. Jeez. And a lot of wind? Did it take down a lot of trees?
Yeah, I'm looking out, like, outside on the road out here, and there's just like limbs, like small little tiny limbs and leaves and everywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, debris, like little
trees. Yeah. No big limbs or anything.
Wow. And that's so weird because today it's supposed to be 109 here, and it's already almost 100. Oh. And isn't that crazy? And we don't get storms like that until winter.
Dude, it's not even like, it's not even light out, and it's 100 degrees out when
it's going on. It's in the 90s.
Ooh, that's crazy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, just absolutely. Yeah. I can't even imagine that.
Well, if you're inside, it's okay. You're cool. I mean, you have your coolers going. But, like yesterday, it was 107, and around 5 o'clock, it started to get warm in the house and a little humid, so we opened the door, and then it cooled off. So it was okay.
My goodness. Wow, that's good. I mean,
we're used to it, It's like you guys are used to humidity where I couldn't stand it, but I'd rather be in 109, 110 degree weather than be in humidity.
Wow, that's amazing. Still, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine it because I've never felt that dry heat, so it's kind of ambiguous to me.
Right.
No idea.
Yeah, you're going to have to make it out to the West Coast sometime just to check it out.
Yeah, before it drops into the sea.
That's Southern California. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
I just had a crazy thought, and then with all these immigrants they're letting in, that's that much more weight on that.
I'm telling you. Yeah, man, it's going to be like the death and destruction of California and everywhere else for that matter.
Well, Southern California, at least, from San Francisco down. If you look on the earthquake maps, it's that deep red where, it is the least stable and built on fill.
Oh, yeah. Well, for sure San Francisco's built on fill, right?
All the way down almost. San Francisco, San Jose, San Carlos, all the way down to LA.
It is too? Oakland and that?
Yeah, that's San Francisco Bay, huh?
Oh, see, I got one of my best friends lives down there.
Oh, what's that? Is that me or you?
It might have been me. What is it?
It's a commercial. McDonald's?
Oh, it's not me.
I don't have anything running. Wow.
It can't be.
You didn't hear it?
No, I don't hear none of it.
Oh, it stopped. Wow, that was weird.
God,
okay.
Oh, boy. Crazy! Everything's done.
That was weird.
I just pretty much rolled out of bed, man. I was kind of up all last night with all the flashing, and the rain was like incredible. I mean, it was
like a tropical storm?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like that, where it just came down in just buckets and buckets and buckets. And then it would stop, and then it would come down in sheets again, and then it would stop. It was really odd. An odd storm last night.
And you weren't expecting that?
Yeah, they had, warnings and stuff out for thunderstorms, so, but...
No thunder.
I was trying to sleep is what the problem was. You know?
Yeah, how inconsiderate. Now come during the daytime when,
Right. Well, at night is, like if there's like tornadoes and stuff, that's like the worst time you could ever get those.
Oh, yeah, and like you could sleep. I mean, if you're a sound sleeper, you could sleep through one of those warnings, couldn't you?
Sure. Oh, absolutely. And then the next thing you know, you're either,
Flying in the air or...
flying in the air in Dorothy in Kansas,
What a way to wake up.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine that? You remember that guy, couple years ago, he was in his bed sleeping in a freaking sinkhole, swallowing his freaking house?
Yes. And then his brother wanted to go down after him, and they wouldn't let him, but they never did bring him up.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
No, just all of a sudden wake up and you're sinking, and the ground is engulfing you. That would be horrible.
Gosh, that's definitely something out of your worst nightmares for sure.
Unless it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth. He went down in, there was a big pocket hole, and he's living in paradise.
Very well could be true. There is this American Indian guy named Red Elk. And I'm gonna go off into Red Elk now. He stated quite literally that there are beings within the earth, within the center of the earth, that live in literally paradise. I
can't argue that.
I guess they're big, according to him. Now, this isn't according to me, guys. According to him, they're big, gigantic creatures with a bluebird head and a human body.
Well, that's okay. People up here think the Lemurians live in Mount Shasta.
Think what?
The Lemurians live in Mount Shasta. I mean, there's a whole religious, the St. Germain Foundation. It's real big up here. They put on a pageant every year, but they believe that they live inside that mountain. And that's why it's so holy that all these holy people from all over the world come here.
Wow. Well, hey, that's exactly what happened. Oh, wow. Hey, guess what? I think we got, if I can do it, JJ wants to come on, man.
Hey!
Yay!
Here he is!
Yay! Let's see.
It's on. Come on, keep your fingers crossed. Come on, JJ, you can do it. And there he is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Hey, JJ.
Awesome. I'm also simulcasting this on my live broadcasting feed. I'm going to embed. I'll have one of these players embedded at the Freedom Palooza page, but we will also embed one of these players at UCY for Freedom Palooza, and it seems to be working good. Yes. I was trying to do all the free ones, but they just kept buffering and having ads and all that, so I'm thinking this one's going to be pretty good. I've been going 20 minutes. It hasn't buffered. We haven't seen an ad.
Yay!
Fantastic. So. I'm excited. I'm going for sure. Polly called me last night, dude, and he's like, "Yeah, man," and I that just sealed it for me.
Dude, when I told them that you and Timmy weren't coming, they were like, "What?
Aww, really?
Let's quit.
You guys
we're gonna
take
cancel.
lots of pictures too for us that can't go."
Oh yeah, and we're gonna live stream it, so you can just go. We'll have a page at UCY that'll have the live feed.
Oh, it'll be like I'm there.
That's why I'm doing it all now. Last year, I tried to troubleshoot it and set it all up there at the event on a laptop. This year, I'm doing it now, and I'm bringing my whole freaking PC.
There you go. Yeah.
Could I literally do the show from there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that would be so cool to do the show from Police.
Well, yes, whatever we decide to do, better tell Jules. So.
Yeah, well, because she's got a bunch of shows to cut.
Yeah, I think she's gonna rerun just for before the first cup right now. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be reruns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we won't be home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be, especially Thursday. I'm gonna be in the middle of driving.
I'll be there Wednesday, but I got to mow the field, so.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, I mean, Are you kidding? I go down there the day before. I mow the field. I help set up the stage. I post all the parking. You know what I mean? I try to do as much of everything as I can because
he's the roadie.
And I'm the MC. And you know, if you show up, you don't know how to put your tent up. I'll put your tent up for you.
Oh my God!
You don't have any water? I'll bring you water. If you don't have any food, I'll feed you.
Aw, my goodness! See, you guys, that's awesome. Everybody should try.
That's why I say you just show up. I'll do the fucking rest.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like a hippie movement's coming back because people caring about each other and having love-ins and everything. That's what this reminds me of.
Well, this ain't no damn loving, man.
It is. It's the love-in for the people that meet each other there. But
right. Have you? Well, but I mean, have either of you ever been to a real live love-in?
I've been to that, you know, festivals. You know, I've been to like 40 Dead shows and.
Yeah, it's people caring about each other and enjoying life. It's nothing more than that, really.
Those are like a bunch of like people on nitrous and ecstasy, man.
I know.
I'm saying when I used to go to the love-ins, no, ecstasy wasn't even around yet.
Oh, well, yes, it was. MDMA, the raw form of ecstasy, has been around since the 60s.
Yeah, but everyone wasn't taking it like they were. Like, there was mostly smoke there and some psilocybin and stuff. But, I mean, it was just people. People had this image that is not real, and, you know, just from propaganda.
Right.
You know, I was there. I lived it. And it was mostly just people watching out for each other, enjoying life together, and caring about each other.
Oh, I agree. And let me just say something to all you guys that were listening to me Sunday telling me I sounded fine. Like the cat or somebody had moved my gain button all the way down. I sounded like I was underwater with a sock in my mouth.
Oh, man.
I sound good now, don't I?
Yeah, you sound totally awesome.
Right? Yeah.
You're excited. I'm freaking getting really pumped right now. Is your mom coming, dude?
No.
I can't get it right.
Things happened and she can't make it, but
that sucks ass.
We'll be thinking about her.
That's right.
I love my mom, but my wife and my grandson and both of my daughters are coming.
No, I get to meet the whole family.
Yeah.
Yay!
Cindy Steele's coming again this year.
Cool. Who else is coming? Run down the whole damn list, dude. All
right, I actually do have an updated list right now. Okay, let's see. On Thursday night is like Freedom Palooza Light. We're gonna have 3 bands and 3 speakers. We got Poker Face, which is Paul Tapetti, obviously. Storm, which is a band that Brett, the guitar player for Poker Face, another beautiful human being, is in. Paul Tapetti's going to give a presentation. I'm not sure what. Cindy Steele will be speaking Thursday night. And Tara Beth will be speaking. She'll be talking about non-GMO foods and organic food and being healthy. At least that's what she talked about last year. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Friday and Saturday are going to be the days where we're going all day, starting noon all the way till 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, actually there will be plenty of time because we do have internet there for you to do a show, but but I don't want to say that and then have something happen. So, if you had somebody that would do the show for you live, and if you couldn't hop on, that'd be better. But let's see. So Friday we're going to have Blake Jackson. We've got Attorney Phil Berg again. Mike Adams is coming. Cindy Steele will be speaking again, mostly on the First Amendment. I'm sure she'll be speaking about her husband's case, but her husband's case is all about the First Amendment. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you're defending, whether he's a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi or not. Every person has the right to a defense in court. So Karen Kwiatkowski, she was there at our first one. She's I think she's West Virginia or Pennsylvania. Great lady. I've had her on my show a few times back in the Orion days. Dave Gahary from American Free Press. Pete Papahirkulis from American Free Press. 2 great guys. I love them both. Larry Sinclair. I know Wendy. You'll like to hang out or meet Larry Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, he's great,
time?
man. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, Larry will be there, Jim Conant Jr., and then last speaker of the night on Friday will be Mark Cornke.
I thought he was coming the 5th. He told me he was coming the 5th.
No, I got him scheduled for Friday night.
Uh-oh. Oh, maybe that's right. That's right. His wife got the day off. Yeah, dude. That's
some of the bands that I'm kind of excited about. We got, of course, Dave Cahill. I love that guy. He's great. He's been to every Freedom Palooza. He doesn't care about the ADL's warning to him about ruining his career by showing up at at an event like ours. Jason Hendrickson, another guy that's going to be great. You guys will love him. A solo act. A solo, beautiful, wonderful human being. Doug Hawk, one of my favorite artists, plays the piano. He's the guy that does the jazz, and he's just amazing. Poker Face plays every night. Bottom of the Lake is another band we got coming. Some of these bands are local Lehigh Valley talent and Buck County talent. Let's see. Some of these speakers, I have to get with Paulie and find out who a couple of these speakers are. Rodney Martin will be here. Let's see. Eli James, Jack Blood speaks Saturday.
Yes!
Allegedly. Blood will have his
speaks.
band. Rick Denizen, another guy you're going to love to hear. Oh, man. And then Saturdays were all my favorite bands. Secret System. You guys, these guys are just awesome. They're just so talented. Poker Face. Jim Trafficant, he gets his own slot for band and speaker because he needs it. You know what I mean? He performs and he entertains. And then finishing the night off will be The Tank, and you guys will love him. They're one of my favorite bands. Art Larson finishes off the night. We have the Rizzoli brothers, and Merlin Miller will be here with us on Saturday night. So it's going to be, the lineup is set, and we've got
growing, growing.
Did you say Jack has a band?
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to be playing or if he's just taking 2 slots.
Oh my God, that would be cool.
Yeah,
man, we get some punk freaking rock, man.
Fuck yeah, man.
This is gonna be fun. I'm getting totally excited. Yes.
Should be a good time.
So what about Sunday?
Sunday is pack up. Line down, pack up.
There's no bands or anything like that?
I don't think so. But what I think Sunday is going to be is what we usually do is anybody with an instrument hops up and, plays. We can, until...
an open mic.
It is an open mic. Every day is like that. The bands start at noon and, 10-ish, we turn on the sound and whatever. Hop up, grab your guitar, and play. So it's a chance. It's a good chance, for you to, if you've never played in front of people, to just, like Drew Shawley's going to come down. He's going to get on stage and do a couple sets.
Mike Adams who?
I'm not, I have to talk to Paulie because it says Michael Adams too, and I'm not sure if that is who that
Mike
is.
Adams, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but we were talking about the Health Ranger the other day, Paul and I.
Oh,
maybe it is Mike. Maybe it is the Mike Adams. I'm ashamed that I don't know because we didn't actually have Jim Trafficant didn't agree to come until yesterday or the day before.
Oh, that's last minute.
Yeah, well, he's been to every one, and he can't fool anybody. He has a good time when he's there, but
Well, he wants me to speak, dude, and
you don't have to. Don't worry about it.
I will. I didn't get anything straightened out. I need to wing it.
You don't want to. You don't have to. But you're starting to get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get up there for 5 minutes and just tell everybody, man, fuck the feds.
I could definitely do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
One finger salute.
One finger salute.
Feds ain't welcome. Don't
no
come.
feds allowed.
Right. You did that at your up in Michigan.
Put a big sign out there that said no feds allowed. That was sweet. Should do that again.
Well, I wish we had that sign.
I'm
one of those nostalgic guys. Like I wear the same T-shirt every year.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Actually, I wear it because it's usually 99 degrees, so I wear 10 T-shirts.
Oh my god!
I just go through them. You know what I mean?
Is this supposed to be really raging hot?
No. Actually, it's supposed to be comfortable and mild this year.
Sweet. Well, because I'm bringing my old dog. She's like 12 years old.
Yeah,
She can't get around too well. So, but hey, man, this is gonna be cool, man. I'm excited.
Jealous.
Aww.
Well, you know, it'll be live streamed, and the live stream will have a chat, so it's not like you're gonna be. And I'm gonna keep the monitor out in the in the shade and everything under a tent, so you'll be able to text people. We'll try to keep somebody there watching, for questions.
When they can and stuff. Yeah, well, how cool! And I love Hedges. What's his name? You said him. Was it Chris Hedges or? Wait,
no, not Chris Hedges.
Who was it you said?
Mike Adams?
No, it was before that. It'll come to me.
We got Phil Berg coming. We got
Phil Berg. Yeah, I love Phil Berg, man. That guy.
Phil Berg from ObamaCrimes.com.
Right. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
That
man knows his shit. He has research.
ADL went after him hard and heavy. See, he was disbarred because he wouldn't drop his suit against Obama. So he lost his license to practice law. And then last year, the ADL sent him all kinds of threatening letters. And that's what he wasn't actually, him or Traficant weren't well, I believe that neither one of them were going to come. But the minute Phil got a letter saying, don't show up, don't come to that event, he was like,
that's all it took, huh?
Yeah. He said, screw that, I'm going. And he was a wonderful speaker, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. It's from the heart. You can always tell when it's from the heart and for the right reason. And that man, I'm behind him 100%. Look at what he's gone through to get it out, the truth. And then
same thing with Larry Sinclair. They tried, they tried to destroy them both.
Mm-hmm. And that's when someone, he lost his career and everything, and this man has always been upstanding. And for them to do something like that, you know that the guy's telling the truth. He's proved his point over and over and over. What's it take, But good for him. I hope I get to see his talk.
You will.
Yeah, you will. And if for knock on wood, if for some reason the live stream goes down, I always have the videos up within a week.
Yeah,
we have a videographer that shows up every year, and
so where is everybody going to be able to find this link to check out Freedom Palooza this weekend?
Either at freedompalooza.com or at ucy.tv. We'll have an embedded player at both.
Kickbot! Woohoo! Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Well, I want to fly back there.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, maybe next year.
Well, one of these years we want to do one out west.
Oh, I know you could do it up here at my house.
Seriously, we'd like to do at least one or two a year.
Oh, and up here it's beautiful. You would love it. Or, in Mount Shasta, they have all kinds of things going on. They have festivals and everything up on the mountain. It would be really cool up on Mount Shasta. Yeah, we have lots of festivals here in the summer.
That way Payday could go there.
I know.
Out west, huh?
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous up here. You would not believe it. People think of L.A. when they think of California. No. Up here, we have so much forest and mountains. And I'm living between two volcanoes.
I lived in San Clemente, down near San Diego for a while.
I did too. And I lived down there on Texas Street.
I lived on the El Camino Real.
Aha. So it's pretty down there, but it's different.
It is different, but you can't beat those cliffs.
Oh, I know. Aren't they something?
You go climb up into a freaking cave, 40 feet above the water and just watch the surf.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, San Diego's got some beautiful sights along that ocean. I'm so happy for you guys. It's going to be so neat.
It'll be great. We got a lot of great speakers, and man,
good music.
We got a lot of great talent showing up this year. All the bands are really good. They're all tight, well rehearsed.
It's amazing how big it's gotten. And how many years now have you been doing it? 4, 5?
Yeah, 3. This will be our 4th. This will be my third stint as the MC/host of the event.
I think I have 2 full sets of videos of 2 of them. I think.
Yeah, we didn't videotape the first one, or we
Right.
did, but I don't have the video. But I did get the video from Freedom Palooza 2, Freedom Palooza 3, which was last year.
Those are the ones I have.
Yeah.
I got them as soon as you put them up. Boom, I got them. In fact, that's the first time I seen Wendy. Because she got on top.
Wendy was at Freedom Palooza 2.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Cindy Steele, and Cindy will be back this year. And to me, it's awesome because all these people, even the people, the people that are camping, they all come back because they met and they became friends. And the people that are speaking all come back and they can't wait to see each other and they greet each other with hugs. And then you get people together like Jim Trafficat and Jim Condit Jr. and Art Larson, and then a year later, we have Jim Trafficant's new project, Freedom for America. So, it's who gets to meet. It's bringing people together that, only talk through comment sections and, you know what I'm saying?
Sense. Yep. A common goal in life, to better this country.
Yeah. We're trying just to bring people together. We're not trying to make any money. We're not trying to have a festival with fairy dances. This is a straight up a big boys, non-squatting, non-panhandling event. And Kathy's bringing a whole tent this year as a vendor. With all her old Bill Cooper and all her old books. It's going to be like a 20-year-old her tent will look like a 20-year-old Brave New Books.
Oh, that's so
You know what I mean? With old posters and old magazines and old newspapers.
Wow. That's fantastic. I'll be able to, keep my dog in her tent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool. Oh, my God. This is going to be nice.
Reading stuff that happened back then. Like I just read an article from 1994 from our California Ledger Free Press back then. And go back and read and you find that people were already noticing what's coming down now. I love reading that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, it's going to be a good time, and we're not trying to soak anybody. It's not. You're not going to be panhandling. We're not going to be passing a hat around for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. If you show up and you're broke and you got there just by the skin of your teeth, then we'll take care of you. But other than that, it's not. We're not going to be. There's not going to be any Sheriff Max walking around trying to get paid autographs. There's not going to be any. People
ridiculous.
trying to. Fluff you for donations to their cause. This is a weekend camping trip with 30 bands and 30 speakers. I mean, you get in.
Wow.
You don't even have to be there all day. You can go do what you want and then just come back because we'll be going from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
Wow. Wow. Hey, is that hemp guy going to have his wares there again?
Yep. Hempland Security, Sean House.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Fantastic. That's really cool. His snacks are really good.
I bet they are.
Yeah, Hempsels, that's what he called them.
Yeah.
That's great, man. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, I use hemp milk whenever I make cookies.
There you go.
And so
do you have a hemp speaker?
Huh?
Do you have a hemp speaker?
Sean House.
Oh, he's going to be. He's speaking too.
He's going to give a medical cannabis presentation.
Good. Right on. This is going to be a fantastic thing.
But you know how it goes. Whenever there's a pause in the action, I get up there and...
Yeah.
Bam, bam, boom.
That's cool.
Guys, I kind of got to run. I just had a few minutes, and I wanted to hop on and say hi and
we're
tell Wendy how excited we are to have her coming down.
Oh, thank you. That's so awesome. I'm all blushing now. Thanks, JJ. You totally you just totally woke us up now. So,
and you guys stay safe. Have fun and stay safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will.
I'll see you in a couple days, dude.
All right, Wendy. Take care, guys. Bye,
All right.
Jody.
Bye, hon.
Love you.
Wow, that was so cool.
Dude, that was fucking great.
That is going to be so awesome. I mean, oh, wow. You know, to be with same-minded people, and that big of a, that many people, it's so rewarding in itself.
Yeah. I lost my jobs. I lost my job. My sister shut down her grooming shop, and so I was broke, and I'm like, man, there's no way I can go. But fortunately, my mom helped me out, so I can actually go. So
I'm so happy.
Very grateful for that.
Yeah. Go and enjoy yourself. That's what life's supposed to be for.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah, that's...
Around good people, even if you've lost your job, being around good people like that will inspire you to do whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you that power. What I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, shit, man, these guys really want me to go, and I should really try. And so, actually, hopefully my car makes it, so let's knock on wood. My brakes are all screwed up, but I'm going to go anyway, despite, the squeaking and the squealing and the pumping of the car whenever I stop. I figure, shit, I'm going to be on the highway. I'm not going to need brakes.
Yeah, right, huh? Just stay far back and in the slow lane, and you'll be fine.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, scrunch down like you're a little old lady, and then nobody will.
I'm going to be doing that anyway. Actually.
Oh, jeez. It's gonna. I'm so happy for you.
I can't drive long distances without smoking. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Curbing down, taking a couple, you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
So we shall see.
Yeah, I was watching, I was watching this neat video with Mr. Cohen. It was a committee, and it was on marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And the one, the DA was going, yeah, well, people get killed and stuff. He goes, you know what? He goes, it's been, from what I've gathered in information, people who smoke marijuana don't drive all fast and reckless. In fact, they drive slow, very cautiously, and looking for the cops.
You know what? It's true. I am a testament to that. Because when I'm... I am, kind of right now, I haven't smoked yet today, blah, 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 and I get a little anxious, I get road rage. And I get pissed off, you know what I mean? I get pissed off if somebody cuts me off and passes me on the road. It gets me pissed off, and I start, roar! But if I have my medication beforehand, or whatever, then
it just doesn't faze you, huh?
Right, I don't give a shit if you're passing me, dude. Go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really, it's you want me on that when I'm driving. So
now you should, if you get a chance, go in and watch those videos. I have never heard anyone speak so many truths about marijuana.
So what is that again?
Oh, wait. Okay, I got that background again. Hold on.
Oh.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, well, there it's gone again. That's weird.
That's got to be in your end.
It is in my end, but it's like a commercial starts.
Bizarre.
Really weird. But anyway, it's Cohen, Mr. And he spoke at these this committee on marijuana, and he went back to the history and how it came about, and Nixon's wanting to get at the blacks, and it was just a campaign thing with Haldeman and them. This guy brings it all out, and then he put that DEA head guy in his place. That guy couldn't even open his mouth almost, and it's called Congressman Cohen Schools DEA. Scum adhering on legislation of marijuana.
Wow.
You go to YouTube and find that. And I tell you, he schools them. And he goes, you know what? You'll never find anyone that on marijuana that's going to go home and beat their spouse and children. But a lot of people get drunk and go home and beat their spouse and children. And then he asked him, how much money have you made from forfeiture? And the DA just went blank. And he went, well, I can't tell you right now. And he goes, I want that information. You get it to me. You know, and I don't know just how long ago this was. It wasn't that long ago, though, because of the things he was talking about. But this guy told he was putting them all in their place, saying this is a 40-year war that needs to stop. And he brought up the point, look, everyone used to smoke cigarettes. We got across to people that it was dangerous. People are smoking way less, and we didn't put anyone in jail. Good point, huh? So why can't you do that with marijuana? He goes, the kids aren't going to listen to you. You say that marijuana is as dangerous as cocaine. Right. Well, what kid is going to believe you when he knows that's not true? You are damaging our ability to teach them that they shouldn't get high when they're young. I agree. I don't think minors should get high. They should be minors and stuff. But, you know, as an adult, you got the right to make the decision. But this man, I mean, it's one of the best, honest, straightforward committees I've ever heard anyone talk on. And this man knew about everything of it. So, you know, and the DA still says, well, it's a Schedule 1. And he goes, yeah, that should be changed right now. And that was only supposed to be temporary. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Marijuana was only supposed to be a Schedule 1 temporarily so they could do some studies, and some studies were going on, and they never went back and addressed it.
Of course not. Well, everybody knows that when you tell a kid not to do something, they're going to do it.
Well, not only that, why would they think you're credible when you say, oh, you smoke this marijuana, you're going to want to do this and this and this and this. They smoke it and they don't want to do this and this and this, so why should they believe you about heroin?
Oh, absolutely. I know. Because every kid, that, you know, what's weird, because when I was in high school, there was this book called Basketball Diaries written by a poet named Jim Carroll. And in that, and you know, of course, the teacher was like, "Don't read this book. It's not for your age group. You know, don't read it. Whatever you do, don't." Of course, what did me and my friend do? We went out and grabbed the book, and it was all about this kid who was like freaking 12 years old. He thought that marijuana was the addictive substance, and that he tried heroin before he ever smoked a joint. And he got addicted to heroin. He didn't know that it was heroin that was the addictive substance and not marijuana. So, you know, that's where this kind of, you know, lies lead to.
Yeah, and that was his point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and he went on. I mean, you know, and this, the DEA, like he asked me, he goes, okay, you've been in this business for 30 years. How have your views changed any about marijuana? And I guess the guy should have thought he was going to be cool. He goes, no, to tell you the truth, they haven't very much. And then the congressman said, okay, right there is the problem. With all the information, all the facts, all the science is proven it is not dangerous to you. In fact, even the most intelligent human being on the planet is wanting to study it more because he doesn't think it's dangerous. And yet you, after 30 years in here, you still believe it's as dangerous as heroin.
Right.
This guy was on it. Everything that DEA said, the guy had facts and proof. And, you know, he goes, you need to educate yourself, mister. I can't believe that your thoughts on marijuana has not changed in 30 years. He goes, that's a big problem.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh my God, Dave from Montana just got into the chat room. Hi, Dave.
Oh, Dave. Hi, sweetie.
Somehow this dude has the radar for him and marijuana, dude, because whenever we start talking about it, Dave shows up.
Hi, Dave. Awesome. Oh, wow, this is so cool.
Oh, we love you, Dave.
Wow, that is trippy, huh?
Isn't that cool? He just has this radar, man. It's awesome.
I'm gonna put that I'm gonna put that video in on the chat.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's 2 of them in there that are great.
Yeah, he just posted one. It says driving marijuana versus alcohol. So that's going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting video.
Mm-hmm.
In there, it says drunk driving versus stone driving. Who wins? That's what it's. That's what the name of it is on YouTube.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he just posted it. So, hell yeah, that's great. I mean, really, there's like songs written about it and stuff. Like, if you're like driving when you're high, like the worst that happens is that you pass your exit and you freaking have to just go and turn around and go back the other way.
Exactly.
But, if you're drunk, like in a freaking Volkswagen Bug, I mean, you're gonna be like, killing people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this is fundamental, and apparently, I really don't know this for 100% certainty, but I believe that Michigan was another state that approved hemp for growing for farmers.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I am really excited about that.
I know, I mean, that's going to help the economy so much. I mean, look at everything that you can make anything and everything, even a car with hemp. And it does not get you high, but they have brainwashed people in this country so bad, just since the 1970s, that they could just turn around. Well, really 1930s, I guess. But,
30s.
Even now, when you give these people scientific fact, proof, right there in black and white, they still won't, it's like a psychopath. No matter what somebody puts in front of you, you're going forward because they're all wrong.
Well, on YouTube, again, if you go in YouTube and put in Henry Ford hemp car.
I know, I love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones because he actually takes a freaking sledgehammer to the body and there's no denting that occurs.
Was fueled by hemp and made of hemp.
Yes.
So,
I don't know why he shelved all that.
Because
I have no idea.
It said right in there, the prejudice was so strong, and it went over into hemp, and no one would go for it.
I personally think that back then, in the 30s and stuff, that Henry Ford was actively involved in industrial espionage.
He was. Yeah, he was as crooked as the rest, really. He just believed in hemp, is all.
Right. He had and if you go to Greenfield Village and the Henry Ford Museum, you go into the Greenfield Village bit of it, he's got what's called a soybean reaper, and that's what they put it in as they have a display there, and they actually have it, but you can see where the settings are in this machine is a lot taller. Soybeans only go 5, I don't know, maybe 3 feet, 4 feet above the ground, maybe 3 feet. But hemp is way, way tall. It can grow up to 12 feet and up, and 14 feet even. And you can see that they were lying in this fucking display. You can see it was clearly a hemp reaper, clearly. And they just have it as a soybean reaper, which is bullshit. And the lie continues. You know what I mean? It makes me sick how the lengths that these people have gone to hide these things from the public. You know what I mean? Just be honest about it,
I learned a lot from watching that video about Nixon, Haldeman, and what was the other guy's name? They were involved in the cover-up. But, I mean, right out of the guy's diary, it said right there that Nixon wanted the drug. He said, we can't get rid of the blacks and the Mexicans, but we can make it against the law for their pleasure. What they get pleasure from, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, well, It actually started with this guy, I think his name was
1930s.
Richard Ainslinger.
Yeah.
I could have gotten his first name wrong, but Ainslinger was involved with the FBI, and he was the major instrumental force behind the craze of marijuana. Yeah, reefer madness craze. Yes.
Guess what? I also found out watching that. That was the head of the DEA's great-great-grandfather, or great-grandfather.
The current DT.
From 1930. Yes. The guy even says it. He goes, do you know? And he said that name. And the DEA goes, no. And he goes, well, you should. It's your grandfather. Your great-grandfather. And he said, and then he read what that guy said and how he was the one that originally made it against the law. And it was for prejudice reasons, too.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well,
you gotta watch that video.
These families are in the same damn positions. It's the same damn people keeping us down. And if it's not the actual people from, like, the freaking 30s, it's their grandkids. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
it's ridiculous, man. And I mean, when are we going to break this damn cycle? I want to know. It's the same bloodlines, same damn families. Just pisses me off to no end.
Right. This guy, I mean, I even learned a lot more about the history of it. And, you know, he makes so much sense. But if you'll notice in the video, there's hardly anyone in there in that committee room. There's like 4 people up, you know, sitting up there that are asking the questions. But it's almost an empty room. Why is that?
Right. Absolutely. No. I mean, what? Come on.
No, it was on C-SPAN. And, you know, he brings up the fact that how many people we have in prison and for smoking something that it's been scientifically proven that it doesn't harm you. In fact, it is doing good for you. And, you know, I mean, he's just so well. He would leave the DEA guy just like speechless. Like the DEA said that it attacked our moral structure, and that guy asked him, "Excuse me, okay, tell me how."
Right.
It attacks our moral structure, and the guy starts going off on law enforcement, blah blah blah, and he goes, "No. How does it attack our moral structure?" And he went off somewhere else, and he goes, "Okay, never mind, you can't answer it."
No, of course he can't answer it because
he has a set answers and he's got to stick to them, I guess.
I guess there's a plant of renown from the freaking Bible, and I'm absolutely 100% convinced that it's hemp and cannabis.
Well, people have been, I mean, the Chinese have been using cannabis for 5,000 years.
That's right, absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's evidence that Egyptians used it too.
My friend has a bottle, and it says right on it, it's a marijuana extract. And I forget what is it for, but it was a prescription from a doctor. He found it up in the McLeod dump, because a lot of old bottles and stuff are found up there. But it was an actual prescription from a doctor. And this probably was back from the 30s or 40s.
I gotta be honest with you. Like the other day, I had my bicep was really, really hurting, and I could barely lift my arm. Honest. And I was trying to stretch it out, and I was trying to do all this stuff, and I couldn't get it to relax because it was like tight, like a balled fist in my arm. You know what I mean? Inflammation. So what I did was I was like, you know what, screw this, I can't take the pain anymore. I went upstairs, and my caregiver, he actually makes a cannabis balm.
I use that. I have that right here next to my chair.
But it's got full on like THC in this balm. And and it's also got coconut oil and beeswax and lavender. And
you rub it on the outside.
So I rubbed it. and then I went to bed, and the next morning, I mean, I'm not feeling it. It's like I could lift weights again. And I only put one application on, and it completely solved the problem. Like, immediately.
It does. It attacks inflammation. That has been proven so far back. Go on YouTube and look up the video Leaf, Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
This girl had so many ailments. I mean, they didn't think she would ever walk or do anything. And she started doing hemp juice. Now her and her husband are over in, I'm pretty sure it's Belgium, growing different strains. I mean, they call it a vegetable and a medicine. It is not a drug as far as they're concerned. But she walks, she's healthy. They said she'd never have a baby. They had a baby. I mean, and it is a remarkable story. I mean,
wow.
It is remarkable. It's called Leaf. And her husband's a doctor. I mean, she married him. And when you listen to the list of drugs they had her on.
Oh, yeah.
And she's off all of it, every single bit of it. And
it's all petroleum-based pharmaceuticals, and they don't do anything for anybody.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't healing her. What was it doing? Sustaining her. That's all pharmaceuticals do.
Managing her symptoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, this chick, you've seen pictures, she's in a chair, her face was all swollen up from all the pills she was taking and everything. And then when you see her today, it is just mind-boggling. And all she does is drink hemp juice.
That's cool, man.
No medication at all. That's why they went to Belgium, because they're a lot more open to marijuana, and they grow all kinds of different strains and doing scientific research, because they couldn't do it here.
Right.
And that balm is great. I tell you, I use it. My roommate uses it. Yeah.
Well, on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, I think it's South Dakota, that Pine Ridge is on, the Oglala Nation, they had, obviously, the feds aren't supposed to have any say on what they do on their sovereign reservation, but they tried to grow hemp many years in a row, and every freaking year, just about before harvest, like a couple of days or maybe a week before harvest, here come the feds, la-di-da-di-da, burning their whole freaking field out. You know what I mean? And they had raised the funds on their own as a tribe, and they had the means to convert this hemp into building material.
Right, bricks.
They were gonna, bricks and mortar and drywall, all this crap, and they were gonna start building freaking houses on the res that
they could live in those houses.
And here comes the freaking DEA. And I think it was like 6 years in a row they tried to do this crap. So I don't know whether or not... they
aren't supposed to go on their land without their permission. Even the casinos here, they have to get permission from the tribe to come on that land.
Right.
I don't understand how they can just go out there and burn these.
They just and they did it. They did it all these years in a row. I don't know if they've left them alone yet or not. If states want an economic solution to their freaking problems, allow farmers to grow hemp. Hello.
I mean, have you seen the houses that it is a natural process that it handles the dampness, brings it into the home, and then filters it out. I mean, it's amazing, these houses they are building out of hemp.
Yeah, man, I totally want a hemp house, and they're more structurally sound. They last longer. You don't
and right now
the maintenance isn't as much, but you pay a lot to get it processed.
Because you have to bring it from Canada.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And when that stops, the prices will go down. And
way down.
And the fiber in the hemp material can actually be used in roads. And
it makes steel. It can make steel.
Yeah, it's almost better than steel in a way. Not really.
Well, have you seen the process? Like you go into hemp homes on YouTube and find there's a few videos out there where you can see them. They pour the hemp's already been broke down to a powder, like they pour it into their mixer just like concrete and process it, and it comes out and it is stronger and it handles the elements better.
Yes.
But they cost so much because we're not growing our own. Think if you could grow your own, you could be processing it, and instead of buying concrete, people would come to you and buy your hemp in bag to go sell their own.
And this is what the Oglala's tried to do on their res, and shut down. They were shut down, and it's just.
What state?
I think it was Pine Ridges in South Dakota, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, and and that it is all from the reefer madness, and the propaganda was so strong. I mean, my landlady, that's going to be my last thing that I will call a great achievement, is to make her understand the difference between hemp and marijuana and the good of it. But she has been so brainwashed. She thinks that people who smoke marijuana still go out and kill people. She's 97
it's actually
years
the
old.
opposite.
I know, she's 97 years old, and she's woke up to everything else except that. And I go, hon, I smoke marijuana. Do you think I would go kill somebody? I can tell you from personal use, no propaganda, and she can't accept it. It's just been so embedded in her mind, and that's sad.
Okay, now the lady that I take care of, who's 101 years old, she actually just came back from halfway from the other side of the world, in Europe. But she told me a long time ago that when she was a young girl, just first starting to go to school in Latvia, right? She comes from Latvia. She remembers her mother making a paste out of hemp, and she would spread this paste on some bread, and that's what she'd be sent to school with every single day. And she loved the taste, and it would carry her through lunch because
like I said, it's been
with you.
Yeah, it's been a home remedy for centuries.
Absolutely.
And how what amazes me the most is how they were able to convince the American public to outlaw a living plant that was put here on the earth. What about these religious people that think God created the earth, and so he must have created marijuana? Why? So he could make laws and put people in jail for it?
Right. Well, hey, it's revenue generation, you know what I mean?
But I mean, why aren't the Christians standing up for it? Really?
Yeah, there are some Christians standing up for it, and especially the Coptic Christians. Boy, those guys are hey, those guys are Rastafarians. You know what I mean? The Coptic people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just amazing to me how in this day and age, people can't get past it no matter, and there's no matter how much science you give them, no matter what you do. I've even been tempted to slip her some hemp juice and tell her later, but I won't do it, of course.
No.
But, but it would make her feel better. She's 97. She has aches and pains. I've told her, you know what? Drink some hemp juice. It does not get you high. You can do everything you were doing, but you will feel better about doing it because you won't be hurting, and the inflammation will go down.
Right,
but,
right. And people can take it in pill form. I mean, you don't have to smoke.
But it doesn't do the same. But juicing it, you don't get high. Really don't. I juice it every morning.
Actually, I'm not talking about hemp, though. I'm talking about the cannabis. Well,
I am too. Cannabis.
Well, the Ricky Simpson cannabis oil. They have that in pill form at the dispensaries,
really?
And whenever I take that, I have to be really, really hurting from a day of working out like really hard, and then I take that, and every single muscle in my body relaxes.
Right.
And the pain just goes away. And it lasts for hours.
See, if you're like me, I used to get high all the time. I don't anymore. I don't get nothing done if I get high. And I do it for health reasons, but I juice cannabis, and that's the leaves and the bud every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I go through my day and doing everything that I would do normally. I am not high when I'm doing everything. It does but I feel it, and it's helped with my health immensely.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if the reason you're not doing cannabis is because you don't like the high or you don't want to get high. Juice it.
Right.
You know, because it doesn't become psychotropic until it is put heat to it.
Right.
And they both do different things for the body. The oil is good for cancer and things like that. And even the juice, that little 3-year-old, it shrunk all the tumors in their head. They sent them home for dead. Said take them home, make them comfortable. There's nothing more we can do for them. They gave them a shot of cannabis every day. They went back 3 months later, and all the tumors had shrunk.
That's right.
They were completely amazed. So juicing it is good, oil is good, but it's not just doing that. You have to change your diet and a lot about your life, but you need that cannabis to get in there and create new cells, new strong cells that goes in and kills the cancer. I just can't get that through people's head. It makes me angry.
There's a story that was featured about that very same scenario in a movie called American Drug War 2, Cannabis Destiny, and the film was made by Kevin Booth, and which is Kevin Booth and Bill Hicks, the comedian, were best friends. And Kevin made these American Drug War movies, but this one is Cannabis Destiny, and he actually documented a little child that went through poor
chemo
cancer,
and radiation,
all of it. He went. They documented his whole journey, and you have to have
more or less.
Yeah, pretty much. You have to have a lot of... And before I saw that movie, I wasn't exactly sure, like, the amount of cannabis that was needed to actually render the cancer helpless or whatever, get the cancer out of the body. But you absolutely have to have just a ton of it to keep up with the amount that's needed to kill the cancer. But
these people did a shot glass, the same as I do every day.
Well, he needed, this poor little child, he had, the cancer spread throughout his body, and he needed copious amounts of it, and
they could throw it if these laws would go away.
Right, it was because of the law. He was fine. I think he came from Washington, like Seattle, and then the laws changed there suddenly, and then they couldn't get their medication for this poor little child anymore, and they couldn't produce enough. Apparently, they couldn't get enough, and it costs a lot of money, and then now obviously the laws have changed since the poor child was there, but I don't know.
They're trying to take
that movie, that film is just absolutely.
What was it? Cannabis what?
It's called American Drug War 2, Cannabis Destiny.
Destiny. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, it's a absolute tearjerker. But Kevin Booth is a fantastic documentary filmmaker, and I absolutely love his work. And
American Drug War 2.
Cannabis Destiny. Vince just actually put a link in there. Thank you, Vince.
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Hands down about cannabis, that I've ever witnessed ever. It's the best cannabis film out there, bar none.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna find that the one on that is Leaf. It's another one. It is remarkable. The change, and we got to get these things out to people, other people, so that they understand this is really healing people. It's not, rumor, and they got to get this. Most people think of people who do marijuana as old hippies that don't do nothing, that are lazy, and this Conan and his thing in his speech, he goes, do you know that CEOs making millions of dollars a year smoke cannabis? Our presidents have all admitted to smoking cannabis. If it is so horrible and you can't go nowhere with it, why is that happening?
Right.
They left them speechless again.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, how can they say smoking, if you smoke marijuana, you will end up nowhere. It takes away all your drive, everything. And look at, we have presidents and CEOs of big corporations that smoke.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, there's three separate, like, classes of cannabis. There's sativas, and then there's indicas, and then there's a ruderalis strains. So the sativas are, I call it my morning coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I like to smoke the sativa because it gets my mind working. It gets me wanting to go out to that gym and work out. It doesn't make me want to sit on the couch and melt into the couch. The indicas do that. Like, the indicas are good for, like, at night when you're trying to go to sleep, when all your muscles are hurting from your days, you know, when you're working or whatever, after you work out, you smoke the indica, and that brings you down and puts you to sleep and focuses on your muscle pains or whatever aches and pains you might have. So there's really specific functions for these strains. Everybody has this thing of, oh, you don't do anything all day. That's not true. If you smoke indica first thing in the morning, you're not going to want to do anything all day. But if you smoke that sativa, which is my favorite,
right, makes you very energetic.
It makes you energetic. It makes you want to go conquer the world and take on the day and, you know, face whatever comes at you. And that is in there. It's very, very, very specific. A lot of people like the mixture. So there's a lot of hybrids out there that are both, you know, maybe a little bit more sativa dominant or maybe indica dominant, and the hybrids out there are a mixture of the both, of the two.
B.E. Smith, that gentleman I told you I learned how to read between the lines and connect dots and all that, he said, the way I get around the marijuana laws is I grow sativa. I don't grow marijuana.
Right. See?
Yeah. And, you know, he was great. But, I mean, yeah, that's another thing I've heard from other people saying it's not marijuana anymore. It's sativa. Or it's these different, it's still cannabis, but, you know. Yeah. Legally, technically, it isn't. It's sativa.
Sativa is my favorite. It's my favorite. Yeah. But then you can also get like the heavy indicas. Like if you literally are suffering from cancer and you have bone cancer, like if you have bone cancer, that is the most painful cancer that's out there. And heavy doses of indica will help with the pain and help.
I do indica for my problem. I use indica, and it seems to have stopped it. It's not going further. Knock on wood, but as long as I can keep my steady, you know, I find it when I can't, when I run out or whatever, it starts to progress again. So it's, you know, something that I luckily here we can still grow until after the election because they tried to ban us from indoor growing or in our yard and stuff, but we went and got signatures and got it put on the ballot. So hopefully right now that has gone back to where we can grow our own. Good. So, and then I'm sure if we got that many signatures in record-breaking time, I'm sure that they won't be able to do what they want to do.
Well, they better not. You know what I mean? It's beginning. Everybody's starting to see through this crap anyway. Nobody's really believing what the freaking government's having to say anymore.
Right. So I would be pissed finding out the truth and the government was telling me lies. Well, I am pissed. You know, that's why I do this. Because they've lied to us about so many different things.
They lie to us about everything. Everything that comes out of their mouth. How do you know when they're lying? Well, their lips are moving. You know what I mean?
And it's just like that thing I read yesterday said. If you don't have enough criminals, create them by making laws that you can't observe, that you can't enforce, and that can't be defined. Like, it has to go to the Supreme Court to make a law that, there's so many laws. I forget how many, thousands of laws. FBI puts out thousands every year. Thousands.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's to make everybody a criminal.
Tell me a law enforcement officer that knows the law. I'll show you a liar.
Yeah.
And they get angry when you know.
Right.
Yeah. I was just looking, this professor is suing law enforcement because they said she was walking down the middle of the road, but there was construction going on, and he asked, wanted her, she was jaywalking, and he goes, I need to see ID, and she goes, what, you're kidding? No, show me or I will arrest you. And she went, you're kidding, and you can hear her on tape going, no, and started to walk away, and he attacked her. And they're saying, oh, but it was okay. She should have obeyed.
Right.
And so, and they show him grabbing her and going around, and she's going, you're kidding me, as she's screaming at him to let her go, and he throws her to the ground.
Yeah, that's the mindset now.
Oh, man. Mindset.
And they'll legalize or decriminalize or whatever the hell they're going to do, and then, they're just going to come at us for something else.
Well, look at this. This happened 2 days ago.
You want to read it?
Yeah, this is in Purcellville, Virginia. Now, this one is heartbreaking. A community is devastated after a suicidal teenager was shot to death by police following a family's call for help. Christian Albert Sierra, 17, was a popular student and athlete at Loudoun Valley High School. His friends noticed his good-natured demeanor began to slip into a depression and ultimately toward the unthinkable. On May 24, 2014, it was last month, he suffered a breakdown and threatened suicide. While at a friend's house on a Saturday afternoon, he began to act erratically and harmed himself with a knife. The Washington Post describes what happened. Christian began cutting himself with a knife, his mother said, and a friend called 911 shortly after 2 p.m. Sandra Sierra said the call worried her son, who fled the home in the block of 100 Fraser Drive by jumping off a balcony. A friend gave chase. Kelly Sobel, a neighbor several doors down, was getting out of the shower when she heard her neighbor scream, "Stop, stop." Sobel glanced out the window and saw the neighbor running down her front steps with a dish towel. Sandra Sierra said her son was bloody at that point. Sobel said that a second later she heard Christian Sierra and the friend chasing him barrel into her garage door with a loud boom. The friend and her neighbor tried to calm Sierra, but he took off again. Sobel, the friend, and a neighbor followed, she said. They were flying down the street, Sobel said. Christian Sierra rounded a corner. Several witnesses said they heard a police officer yell, "Freeze" or "Stop," and then heard shots. Sobel said she heard 3 or 4 pops. Christian was shot an unknown number of times by a Purcellville police officer who was responding to a suicide call. Christian died shortly thereafter. His mom, Sandra Sierra, was beside herself when she heard the news. I banged on their car and I'm like, "You killed my kid. You killed my kid," Sarah yelled at the officer. The officer claimed that Christian lunged at him, justifying the shoot. But others claim the officer was too quick to pull the trigger. "Why would you shoot a child that is suicidal?" asked the teen's mother. "You are there to save him, not finish him off." And, of course, he is put on paid administrative leave until it's investigated. But they're supposed to come and help and stop the suicide, and they came and killed him, said Natalie Morality, Christian's aunt, to my Fox DC. His friends and family have had to learn a painful lesson that many others have faced. that inviting the government to resolve a crisis will often result in wanton violence and tragedy. Christian Sierra has become another victim on a growing list of folks who have been victimized by those who were supposed to come and help. That's it.
Well, there you go. I mean, a lot of people could call that copicide. Suicide by cop. It's easy enough to do anymore. Just call just call them and have a butter knife on you. You know,
I forget. Like that old 90s, what was it? 97, 98-year-old man. He had a knife. I mean, this guy's pulled over and they had to kill him because they were in fear for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that story is getting so old. And this one, okay, the kid is running, his friends are chasing him. He's running and he runs around a corner. When you're in full stride running, that's not lunging towards someone. You know, and he was running because he was scared when they called the cops. And then they say he no sooner turned the corner, freeze, and then bang, 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 bang. So he didn't have time, you know, and the cop said he was responding to a suicide attempt. So why would you shoot at someone if you're going to save their lives?
I don't know. It's just, these people are just so off their freaking rockers anymore. I mean, you can't, they're gonna make it now so that no one is ever gonna call the cops. Ever. I don't care. You know what? I don't care what's going on. I will not call the police. I will not. And people, you know, and this irritates me more than anything. It used to be, if you had a bone to pick with your neighbor, you went over and you talked to your neighbor. And a lot of times it all got resolved. It was a mountain out of a molehill, and everybody's fine. Same scenario today. You call the cops on that neighbor's going to be pissed. He's going to call and turn you in. You're going to go to prison all over something that you could have just discussed between yourselves. Absolutely. Nobody knows how to talk to each other anymore. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, man. God, and everybody just... They're training everybody to be just these scared little, like, wimps that can't resolve their own conflicts, that are scared of every, like, shadow, that, oh my God, I've got to call the cops because, oh my God, I see this guy, like, lighting a joint on the corner.
Right. You know, or a guy opened his garage and I seen a rifle in there. Call the cops.
Right. I saw somebody loading firearms into their car. Holy shit! You know what I mean? It's really, it's gone beyond the pale of logic at all.
I mean, it's even in mainstream now. You're hearing more and more cases being. Now that story I just read was on mainstream news too.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, so it's the see something, say something culture.
Or just cops are so scared. I mean, they are terrified. And then that shooting in Nevada, that just gave them more reason to be able to kill people.
Yeah, that's right. And this is what usually ends up happening.
And look at how big a state California is. You know how many policemen died last year in the line of duty by gunfire? 7.
That's it?
Yep, there was 33 killed, but some there was heart attack, there was wrecks and whatever, but from actual gunfire, 7. So
how many citizens were killed, though, by the cops?
They don't say. How many?
Right, they're never going to put the two.
Killed people, but only 7, and that makes all police enforcement scared of everyone.
Well, sure, absolutely. Well, when you have domestic terrorists running around, I mean,
it just don't make sense. They won't let those statistics out. Very few people talk about them, but you can go online, go into the FBI files that keeps records on all this. And police officers killed in the line of duty is going down, down, down. That's because more and more people are in prison, and and everyone else is too scared.
Right.
That they stay in their houses. You know, I went downtown Saturday, and this is 3:30 in the afternoon. And there used to be, I can remember there was always people out on the street, people doing stuff. There wasn't another car on the road.
Really? And that 3 in the afternoon?
Afternoon on a Saturday. During the week, you don't see anyone out after 8 o'clock unless they're cops.
8 o'clock at night, you mean?
8 o'clock at night.
Man, it's becoming a culture of
Staying indoors. I remember you could go. We had the beer barrel. It was open 24 hours. Okay, and people would go there after the bar and play pool, drink coffee, and there was people out on the streets all night, all day. Our crime rate didn't go up or nothing, and now to go out at 8 o'clock at night and everything's dead. Nobody's out. Not even the cops are out.
Yeah, see, that's bad. I mean, why? Because everybody's in their house texting each other and not interacting. And this is we're breeding our children to be like this. It's horrible. I don't know, man.
A block party or, get to know your neighbors. It was really neat. The church down here had a barbecue.
There you go.
Saturday. And they don't. It was really, I went to see, it was free barbecue just for community to get to know each other. And, I went with the preconception, and I was wrong, I admit it. I went thinking they were going to start preaching to me and this and that. They didn't. It was, if you wanted to talk about it, you could, but no one came up to me and tried to pressure me into believing this or that. It was for the community to get together. I was really, I was amazed, and I have to tell you, I was put in my place because I really thought it was just to promote the church. But no, it was just to promote the neighborhood. I grew up with block parties and with everybody going outside and the whole families playing hide and seek until midnight.
Yeah, see? And it was, it's not like fear of, being in, on the streets at night like there is now. It's just...
Now at night, the only one who's going to harass you now at night is the cops. Why are you out here at midnight?
Right. It's like some adult curfew or some crap.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people that don't go out for that reason. Now, I ride my bike. I haven't yet this year because it's too hot, but probably in about a month, I'll start riding my bike. I go out at 11 o'clock at night, and I ride until 2 or 3. Now, I've never been bothered before or anything, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this year.
Well, it's weird. For the fireworks, there's always every year there's a fireworks display between Detroit and Windsor. So it's the U.S. and Canada get together and they have a big giant fireworks display. Well, I haven't heard this in previous years, but the Detroit police were imposing a curfew on kids 17 and under. And it was like an 8 o'clock curfew or some weird shit like this. And they were running around the fireworks arresting teenagers that were not accompanied by an adult. And you could see them, all these parents had to come down to the ready-made cop shop. They had a police station satellite that they set up there on site. And parents had to come get their kids. You know what I mean? And it was a ton of them, too. And each were fined $200.
Wow. And okay, I don't remember if I brought up or not, but in Oregon, and on the 4th of July, the day that represents our independence, our freedom, everything, right? In Oregon, they just passed a law, and they're going to start enforcing it on the 4th of July. If they think you've been drinking and you refuse the breath test, they don't take your license anymore. They take you to the station and strap you down and take blood legally.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, they're going to bring it out on the 4th of July, the one day that we stand up for our freedoms and everything, and tell me that ain't taking your freedoms away, people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's sick. It makes me want to puke, dude.
Yeah, they're going to have a judge on call so that they can just call and say, okay, I need a warrant, and he'll go, okay.
Yeah, how much is that freaking judge getting paid double time and a half on 4th of July to be doing this crap? What kind of judge is... Yeah, man, come on. It's getting, the police state is here, people. That's basically the long and short of it, and they are training us to be afraid of them. That's what this whole thing is about.
If I lived in Oregon, I don't think I would be going out on the streets at night because I'm needle phobic, and I'm thinking about it now, and I break out in a sweat. That is the most invasive thing. I mean, they're putting a needle in your arm.
Yeah, they're not trained. Like we said this yesterday.
Well, no, they have to take them to the station, and there will be a nurse at the station there to draw blood. It's not going to be the cops drawing the blood. I'm going to make that clear. But even still, if they just think that you've been drinking or you're over the limit, you can't refuse the breath test. I mean, if you refuse it, and you're going in, and then what happens if they don't find anything from the blood test? Then what? What happens? Can you sue them? No, of course not, because they didn't do anything wrong. They had the right to decide. They're not doctors or anything, but they think your eyes are red or whatever. They're going to go take your blood.
Right, absolutely. And so they're setting the precedence for everybody to be subjugated.
Yep. And
stop.
I hear people saying it all around town now and everything. We're getting a new jail here, and one guy at the grocery store said, so you better drive the speed limit because they're going to be out in force to give tickets, people. And these are the people that normally don't, say anything against government or whatever, but they're all seeing it, and now people are seeing it with our supervisors. I hear talk everywhere about the state of Jefferson and how they handle it. People are pissed. They're going to vote.
They've got to pay for that new jail somehow, right?
Well, that too. But no, this was about the state of Jefferson and how they tricked. They put it on the agenda without any notice to anyone. Everybody got to talk 3 hours, no presentation. And then they made a ruling at the end that it couldn't be brought back up without everyone's agreement on the panel. So they locked us out, and it was a dirty trick, and it was wrong, and now I'm hearing I even seen it in the paper. Even people that weren't for the state of Jefferson are going, hey, these guys think they got too much power. We got to vote them out of office.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. You never gave us an update on that.
Yeah,
what happened?
We went. There was 49 speakers, 6 against, and the rest were for. We each had 3 minutes, and a lot of people went up there with facts and stuff. Where other counties, they set up a presentation where Mark Bard would go in and give them all the information, answer their questions. All those counties are in for the state of Jefferson. 5 counties. Okay, they come to Shasta. Our board supervisor, called this meeting within a week, no notice to anyone. Everybody had 3 minutes to talk. How can you explain the technicalities of creating a new state in 3 minutes? You tell me. And you could tell they were already, their mind was made up. So anyway, after they had heard us all, then they discussed it. They have to do it in front of us. We have the Brown Act. They can't go in the back room and discuss it. So they're sitting there and they're talking and we're hearing it. One of the supervisors said, I have a question from Mark Bard. And the other supervisor goes, no, we're supposed to be discussing this between us, not asking questions. And he goes, well, I want to ask a question anyway. And he brought Mark up and asked him a couple questions, and Mark answered them. And then he said, thank you, and he went back. He was the only one that said, I want more information before I vote on this.
See, there you go. That's what a real councilman is supposed to do.
Right. And the other 4... The one, she goes, oh, I feel your pain and blah, 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 but this isn't the way to go. I have to vote down. Okay, each one of the other 4 voted against it, except the one. And when we walked out, it was amazing. Right before they announced the voting, Les Baugh said, well, I've received emails from people, and it's been like, half and half for, half against. Okay, then all the people that showed up that day, other than 6, were all for. Now, if you do your math, if it's half and half, and then all these people are for it, do you think they should be voting for it?
Well, you would think.
Yeah, and then at the end when he said, and this issue cannot be brought in front of the board without a unanimous agreement to hear it. That means we have to get with all four of the ones that voted against it and get them all to change their mind.
That they can't really do that.
They did, though. They can, but the trick, the way they did it. 3 minutes. That's not enough time. And then at the end, when he said, "Well, I haven't seen any facts that would make me want to vote yes on this." Well, how many facts can you get in 3 minutes? It was a setup.
Right. It was, a total setup. I mean, is that how a so-called democracy is really run? I mean, no, it's not majority. Majority, if there was everybody voted for it and only 3 people voted against it, I'd say that that's a pass.
Right, and so they're making up their minds, and I'm here, man, people are writing to the paper. There are some of them that weren't for State of Jefferson are saying this wasn't handled right. And, they're not going by they're not hearing us anymore.
No.
And so a lot of people, man, I think we're going to get rid of a lot of people are disgusted, and they're not doing what they were hired to do, and that is to represent us. And they won't listen to us. They won't. And every other county, they have 5 counties that are all surrounding us that are going in for State of Jefferson. And he's getting calls from people as far away as Sacramento that want in on it.
Well, they're not even following their own damn rules. I mean, what the hell?
Right. Well, Mark refused Sacramento and stuff. They said, he told him, he goes, "We're trying to get away from this. We want representation. We have none. We don't want to become a big conglomerate like what's going on in Southern California." And so we've even been turning counties away. But more and more are getting on board. Every county that gets Mark Bard gives a presentation, gives all the facts, and explains it, have all voted to go for State of Jefferson. So what's going to happen, as soon as they get the amount, they can go now to Sacramento and go to the table and talk to them about doing it. Everyone around us are going to, if it goes through, are going to be, in the State of Jefferson except us. People aren't going to go for it. And there's such a good argument. And I think we could do it. I swear, every time I go to a presentation, we learn more information. It is a doable thing. The ones that say it isn't aren't educated. They're the ones that are lazy, and they'll go with the flow of people, and they aren't ready to do anything new. They want to stay with no representation. They want to keep being ruled by others instead of themselves. This is a doable thing.
Well, do you know if any other counties have passed the measure, or if they all defeated the measure in different counties?
No, 5 other counties surrounding Shasta has made the declaration to leave to create a new state.
Really?
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah, and Mark didn't have a chance to say much. He's getting calls every day from. And right now, Tehama, which is another it's one of the larger counties up here, along with Siskiyou's already in. Tehama is voting on it this next election, and the turnout there was standing room only. In the meeting that we went to, the supervisors meeting, standing room only. You've seen everyone in there; their green and yellow shirts, and I mean. Everywhere you looked in the room, 6 people were against it. 6 people said they didn't think it was feasible, and I mean, how it's like that brainwashing again. People are afraid, and they don't want to be educated, and I don't know. I think the supervisors are afraid they'll lose their job. I really do. Afraid they'll lose their pay.
Screw that. They're going to lose their job if they don't agree with the rest of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they should be afraid of.
Well, right, but they're not, because it's always been business as usual. Okay, people complain and elections come around and no one runs against them. I think they're going to be surprised this time, because people aren't going for it no more. They're tired of not being heard. Not only on this issue, there's a lot of issues that people, and what Barb brings up is so right. They are making laws for us down south. They've never even been here. They don't even know where here is. And they're making regulations and laws that are destroying our lives up here. And how can you vote against having representation down there to do, it's nuts. So anyway, that's it. So people are so brainwashed. They believe anything that people say, but that's changing. It really is. I see it in my community changing.
I hope it changes faster. But the thing is that the politicians need to be afraid of their constituents because they're the ones that can vote their asses out. But what the politicians are really afraid of are the freaking corporate interests and those assholes that are giving them money under the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Said, it was even brought up that someone wrote in the paper, these guys, they just don't want to lose. We pay our representatives way too much money. Everyone agrees on that. But, they brought it up, too. They don't want to lose their jobs. And that one lady up there, when she started in, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Oh, man, I wish my 3 minutes weren't up because I would have got up and said, how much do you make a month? And I want you to prove you feel my pain.
Sounds like Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, and then the question even came up, what about Social Security and our pensions? And Mark goes, it doesn't matter where you live in this country, you still get your pension.
Right.
You still get your retirement. People are thinking that if we go into another state that they won't get their Social Security that they paid into or they won't get their retirement. It doesn't matter where. You can even live in Mexico and still get it. That's how dumbfounded people are. So,
yeah, people are pretty damn stupid.
They're dense. They all think that they can't get along without federal funds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's where that is exactly the problem.
And state of Jefferson will not be taking federal funds.
That's what they're afraid of. They know it. That's what they're really afraid of.
I think so too.
Oh, absolutely. And you've got the feds coming in there and the corporate interests, like I said, going in there and strong-arming these council members.
But they do have one point that I can't fight them on. Everyone's in the red, and up here we're not. We're in the black.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that makes it hard. But that isn't the point, though. It's not all about it's about they're destroying our way of life. We've never been about money. Most of us up here that live in rural area, it's in the city they worry about the money in the building. But most of the people that are for the state of Jefferson are ranchers and people that live up in the woods that lost their jobs when they closed down all the mills and the mining and all. That's the people who want the state of Jefferson.
Well, sure. I mean, because everybody's getting sick of getting screwed over by the damn feds.
Yep. And if you take their grants, it always comes with stipulations.
Oh, absolutely. That's what the Confessions of an Economic Hitman is all about. I mean, they lend you a bunch of money, and then they can come in there and just, take over. It's what they've been doing in the Middle East. They're doing it in the Ukraine. I mean, they're doing it everywhere. It's like the oldest trick in the damn book.
Our education system. Up in state of Jefferson, there will be no Common Core.
Yeah, see?
Education will go back to what it used to be, reading, writing, arithmetic, and learn to use your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of young people involved in this. It's not just, there's a lot of senior citizens and older people, but there's a lot of young people in their 20s and early 30s, teachers and stuff that are out there pushing this so strong. Because
that's encouraging, yeah?
It is. Yeah, I hear people all the time going, oh, it's the young nowadays, they don't have no respect, they don't do this, they don't do that. Because you know what? We've been taught to look at because they're different. Our parents said that about us. Come on.
Right. And, really, honestly, the youth in this country, I've said this many times, they don't even realize the power that they've got. Like
a lot of them do now, though. A lot of them are learning. And we look at them, and I hear it every day, Look at them, they got tattoos, they got piercings. Well, go out and talk to one sometime and listen to them, because they're not all... Like, remember the leather jackets and riding motorcycles? You were a horrible person. You were a criminal. You were all this. And it never was true. It's every generation has their own form of rebellion, and that's what they're doing. They're becoming. They're finding their strength, and it's a different way than we did. But that doesn't make them wrong. Yeah,
That's right.
I talk to young people all the time. I love talking to them, and they will listen. Where I go get my propane last winter, I was talking about chemtrails to the kid that was filling my tank, and I went, go home, get online, and just look up chemtrails, and then we'll talk about it later. Well, I didn't see him again, because I didn't go back to that place. Well, I went back this year, and he was filling my tank again. And he goes, you know what? You were right, and I've showed so many of my friends. He goes, well, I thought they were just airplane trails and that we were getting more air traffic up here. That kid is now talking to more kids and, learning that the government's lying and they are hurting us. And I didn't have to do anything except point at the sky and say, go look up chemtrails. Kids will do it. Adults may not go home and get on the computer and look it up, but kids will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are naturally like sponges, they want to know, they want to learn.
Yep, and I never have to, kids, a lot of times it seems like they're not listening, but then things happen and stuff, and they'll come back to me and they'll go, wow, you know what, I didn't think you were telling the truth, but man, you were right.
Yeah.
Then they are open to discussion with you, not preaching. Yes.
Yeah.
And you gotta learn to talk their language. You can't get down on them for their piercings. I just joke with them about it. But they're mostly good kids. Just like I think there's more good people in the world than bad. It's just we are taught to be fearful of everyone, including kids.
Yeah.
We see 3 kids on a corner, and it's a gang.
Right,
we gotta break them up. Oh, what are they up to? Didn't you used to hang out at the mall with all your friends?
Yeah, man. Around this little town, there's teenagers walking in groups up and down the sidewalk all the time. And guess what? I think they're going to the damn Dairy Queen. Oh, wow, let me take a guess. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Give me a break, man. Everybody is so damn scared.
Hey, they went so far overboard. Like, remember when they were trying to make it a law that, like Girl Scouts, they wear a uniform. If there's more than 3 of them together in the mall, it's considered a gang. They actually tried to put that law through. One law, and this I have it in print. This one senator wanted to cut off a limb from anyone arrested on drugs. Your choice. Which limb do you want to lose? An arm, a leg? They actually brought that up in front of Congress, and I think it was 1993 or 94. I'm not sure, but it was one of those 2 years, and it was a senator.
It would be really nice to take that guy and which limb do you want to lose, dude? Every time you cheat on your wife with a hooker.
Yeah, but this is how crazy and insane it is. And going back through all my files, like I said, I was organizing them and reading some of this stuff. When they first were just like in the in the late 80s and 90s is when they were really on the drug. Forest Service was putting in laws for drugs. Every agency was introducing drug laws. And it's to think that in our country, on the Senate floor, a senator was proposing to cut off a citizen's limb because he was caught with drugs.
That pisses me off.
I'm going to
Let's cut that dude's pecker off, dude.
I'm going to find my article on that again because I just put it on if my file system works. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get his name and see if he's still a senator and I'm going to go see if I can't find the article.
Hopefully he was voted out.
Hopefully, but you know what?
Dumbass, man.
A lot of them, are still in there. The ones that were the worst.
Well, sure.
Yeah, so I can't remember his name, and I can't remember what state he was from, but that floored me. That was the one, it got voted down, but that's how extreme and bizarre and crazy they got on the drug war, and that's when all the
people doing life in prison for a couple of friggin' joints, man, because they've been caught 3 times and you're out 3 times and it's life. You know what I mean?
How about this one? This guy Thomas, and I have the transcript and everything. He got sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences, 23 years old, first offense, and all he did was he went with his cousin and introduced these people that did drugs to these other people that did drugs. That was his part of it. They paid him for that. Okay? His cousin and all the drug dealers all turned over, all snitched. They all got off. They were known drug. They had rap sheets, I don't know how long. This kid, the only one without a rap sheet, he didn't have anyone to tell on. 3 consecutive life sentences, which means he will never get out of prison till there's a tag on his toe. And since then, the judge, the DA who prosecuted him, and everyone have written the presidents to get him released. They said it was way too harsh, and no president has pardoned him yet.
Wait, the prosecutor
even wrote in that said that he should be released. The man's
well, then why can't the prosecutor put in a motion to get this kid released?
Because
I mean, come on.
It has to be a pardon. And 23 years old, good in school, and and his cousin even turned on him. And I will. All you have to go to is Frontline, and then look under snitches. They have the whole transcript there.
Nice.
And he is still in prison. And he never even touched drugs. So tell me, this is a good, that we go by the law, and this is a country running on laws. And one case in there, this was a whole show they did. You can't buy it anymore, but I bought the VHS. But they went in and arrested almost a whole town, saying that it was the hub. Distribution center for the whole United States. They didn't find any drugs on any of these people, but they took their tractors, their equipment that had been...
That was down south, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, actually, American Drug War won. The American Drug War went completely into that on his documentary. Kevin Booth covered that. Yeah.
And this one lady, okay, she was dating a guy that was a drug dealer, and they had broke up, and he had got busted, and he didn't want to take it. So he said she was in charge of all of it. She knew everything. When they went to court, everyone had drugs in front of them and, evidence. They got to her, a mother of 5, no drugs in front of her, no evidence or anything. They gave her, 12 years in prison. And she had 5 kids.
My God.
And because they all snitched. They all knew someone to turn on. She didn't, because she was innocent.
Right. Absolutely. And this is how it works. You know what I mean? And then, okay, throw in an FBI infiltrator or a an undercover asshole, throwing that in the mix, and you virtually, the innocent people have no prayer in hell, really.
Right, and if you can see snitches on, you can watch it on the computer, and I will find it. They do have a link to it and the transcript. Everyone should watch that, because there's this one lawyer, he refuses to represent any snitches, and he goes, how do you know a snitch is lying? Their lips are moving, and
yep.
And I mean, if your defense lawyer did what the prosecutor does, like pays people to come in and testify, they would lose their license. But yet it's okay for the prosecutors to do it. So
this is how it works.
I know, that's what they say, too. And that one woman that went to prison, there was a woman that went to prison. She was 90 years old. This prosecutor knew she was innocent, but he put charges on her because her son was a big drug dealer, okay? He wanted the son. So he figured, if I arrest his mother, he'll come turn himself in. And he pressed charges against her, and there was a few other people in line that they were prosecuting. And he even admitted, no, she didn't do anything wrong. He goes, I was standing there, and they were going, guilty, guilty, as it was getting closer to her. And I was thinking, oh, let him say not guilty, because he knew she was innocent. Guilty, guilty. They found her guilty, sent her to prison. That prosecutor knew she was innocent. But he said, well, her son should have turned himself in.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding.
No, of course you're not. I mean, this is how it fucking works.
And what that prosecutor said to the interviewer was, so you knew she was innocent, and what was she? He goes, she shouldn't have let her come to her house. And she goes, because the lady goes, you mean you wanted the mother to turn the son in? And he goes, no, but she shouldn't have let him come to the house. He shouldn't have let him buy her a car. So, and they ask him point blank, do you know she's innocent? Yeah. But he should have turned himself in. He didn't. She got 7 years in prison. She had a heart attack in prison. And she got off, I think, after 4 years. But she was on the bracelet thing or the ankle thing for 2 years. 97. She was 100 when she got out.
Jeez. Unbelievable.
And this is happening every day. With
Well,
the
absolutely.
word conspiracy, people are being sent to prison for profit, period.
Yep. This is the biggest prison system on the entire planet. We have it right here.
Holder and Obama and Congress break the laws every single day, and nothing happens. It's just,
That's right. We should be filling up the prisons with them.
did you see Pelosi's, what she said about the immigration and everything that's going on down there? That woman's a blithering idiot. I don't know how she got in office and who voted for her.
Oh, well, she's just another one that belongs in one of these prisons.
She belongs in a loony bin. I'm not kidding. You've seen pictures of down there with the immigration and all.
Oh, yeah, we've only got like 10 minutes. Let's not open that
But
can
I
of
gotta
worms.
get this one part out. She went there, and you know how she described it? Sparkling.
What?
Yes! She goes, I was just in there visiting, and I don't look at it as a crisis. I look at it as an opportunity to help God's children, and it was sparkling. And these people are sitting in filth and overcrowded and disease. That was her description. She's a loon.
You know what? It's too bad she didn't contract something by picking up one of the. I can guarantee you, she didn't pick any babies up.
And then she said, I wish I could take them all home. I said, well, let's send them to her. I bet she don't answer the door.
Eggs. Screw that. Just dump all these people in her front freaking lawn, dude. Here, you want them? Take them.
If you get a chance, just go in and look under Pelosi and immigration.
Yeah, I heard that. It just pisses me off. You know what? Send them all to her house. She said she'd take them.
Yes, she wanted. I wish I could take them all. I say take them. I bet she don't answer the door. I wrote a letter and answered some people on that one, but she's a bing dingbat. I mean, she can't hold a sentence together.
No.
And anything like that, sparkling, and it's our opportunity. Oh, God.
Well, it's a perfect opportunity, all right. I mean, we know what the hell the opportunity is to take this country down.
I wanted to get into immigration. And look we went, woo!
Yup, it's like, but I mean, you know what? It's before the holiday weekend, so we got to talk about drugs. We got to talk about, you know what I mean? We got to talk about the cops because everybody be careful out there.
Yeah.
The cops are looking for an opportunity to go off on your ass. Basically,
if you live in Oregon, don't drive on the streets on the 4th of July, the day we're representing freedom.
Yeah,
Taken.
Yep, don't. Yeah, absolutely. They'll strap you into a chair and forcibly take your blood there in Oregon, I guess. So
please be safe. We want to see you all back here after the holiday.
Yeah, so I guess that wraps it up almost. We just, and nobody, don't be stupid and drunk about, setting off your fireworks. Don't keep the bottle rockets and light them off and then hold them in your hand. I mean, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids do this crap. You know what I mean?
And if you do, be by water where it's safe. We used to let off fireworks and not start fires. There's safe ways to do it.
Well, absolutely. It's just it's just the waste casers, the ones that just don't have a head under their shoulders.
Yeah, but any holiday, there's going to be idiots. Why do they think we're all idiots? Because of some of them.
And there are accidents that happen with this, So, it's just a time to be careful, and now it's the time to watch your back for cops, I mean, it's just...
Drive slow and look for cops.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're out there looking for drunk drivers. They're looking for, what did Pelosi say? The opportunity.
The opportunity to save us.
That's right. The opportunity to save your miserable existences, including mine. I include myself in that.
Yeah.
That's how they see us, you know what I mean? This is the mindset.
Yep.
And we're never going to get around this thing unless we stop these on a local level. You got to get in there, clean house.
Yep, and you can't do it behind bars.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what they're trying to do, is get everybody behind bars so that they can just have what's left.
Mm-hmm.
And we know this to be true.
Yeah. So anyway, we love you guys.
Yes, we do, and if you got a chance, try and get out to Pennsylvania to Freedom Palooza. It was really cool. Thank you, JJ, for coming on, and thank you, Zori, for being on here with me, and I don't think anybody, I will probably, if I can remember on that Saturday, which I don't know, I might not, I will try to get on after the last cup, if I can remember. I mean, if I'm too rolling around, having a good time,
yeah.
I may lose track of all time, man. So,
you will. I'm sure you will.
At least maybe I could get on and say hey with a shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, stay tuned here, you guys. It's what is this? It's Tuesday. Today's the July 1st. It's Tuesday here on UCY.TV. This is one of our better days here of programming. We've got Stay Tuned next is for Post Ignorance with Kevin Blanche, man. Gotta love Kevin and his delivery method. Then after that, at 1, we've got The Edge with John Stokes. And then at 3 o'clock is the Jack Blood Show. And I am so tweaking about meeting Jack. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am about that. Then we got at 6 o'clock is the Ocelli Effect with Chuck Ocelli, brand new daddy. And I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know if he's going to be there or not. He's kind of a busy guy suddenly with the birth of his baby. And then at 8 o'clock, we've got the Continual Condition with Jonathan and Steven. And then at 10 o'clock, guys, it's Primer Time with Dan and Michael. Don't miss that. That's gun talk. And it's always awesome gun talk, man. We love that. And then at 11 o'clock is Lori with Prepper Chicks After Dark. And she plays Conflicted right here on air, right here on UCY.TV.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Good lineup.
Fantastic Tuesday evening. And everybody be safe out there. We are going to be off we won't return until next week. This is you'll have Jules tomorrow, but then there will be a replay on Thursday and Friday, I believe, for this show. So have a safe and happy 4th.
Take care, have fun, and love each other. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye, guys.